It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Jeff Clark from NASCAR Scene. Kyle, you guys had a closed-door meeting today. Can you talk about that and what your impressions were of that?
I don't know if anybody else has disclosed any information. I'm not going to be the first to do that, so I'll let somebody else do it first.
People were talking about the car, how you guys are all in the same car. People find more chances than other people.
There you go.
Have you ever had a meeting like that before that you can remember?
I haven't been here this many years, so I've never been in one like that. I'm sure that Bill Elliott and some of the veteran guys, Terry Labonte and some others, may have seen or may have had those meetings before in the past, and Jeff, maybe even Richard Petty, somebody like those guys, but I never have.
Next question.
Bruce Farm from National Speed Sport News. Kyle, over the course of a long season, you're going to have some ups and some downs, and just how will you recover from the downs in terms of how it goes? How well were you, or have you been able to bounce back from last weekend, and just try to come here with a fresh focus?
It's over with. It's done with. I mean, that's what we got to do. We got to come here with a fresh focus, like you said, and just get back to things as normal. And I mean, it was a tough weekend, a long weekend, but I don't think anything really wore on me. I mean, you look back at last year, I think it was, where I ran the nationwide race and the Cup race in the same day at Daytona. Had a chance to win both of those. So, I don't think that was anything of it. I may have looked tired, but that was just probably more frustration and disappointment than anything on my face. But from all that, I mean, it's just it was a hard weekend, I guess. But it just didn't go our way at Pocono. We were trying to battle our way back up through the field after starting deep in the field, and just kind of moving up very slowly and trying to get back in line on the front stretch, and wasn't clear. So.
Yeah, Mike Pryson with Jackson Citizen Patriot. Kyle, in your wildest dreams, did you think you'd be having this type of season where you've got more wins than the entire Hendrick organization here, about 15, 16 races in?
No, I mean, you never really know exactly how good of a season you're going to have, because you never know exactly what your competition is going to be like. So, this year our competition's been coming from different areas. Carl Edwards, Greg Biffle, Casey Kane now. The Hendrick stuff, they're solid. The 88's real solid. They've been there every week. So, the 31, I mean, he will 6th place to 12th place your butt every single week. I mean, it's just unbelievable he can finish that consistently. I mean, that's what makes him so good, though. That's what makes you have to battle the points and not necessarily trying to get the wins and stuff. I mean, we've gotten 4 wins this year, and he's gotten 1, and we're only 20 points ahead of him because he's been more consistent on a regular basis than we have. So we've got some work to do in that area as far as myself and our team trying to keep stuff, parts failures and stuff down.
Kyle, if you can't finish a race, I mean, if you can't win a race, is the next best thing is finishing with the 88 in your rearview mirror?
Well, yeah, because we're battling those guys for points, so not just because it would be worth for, hey, we were better than you. No, that's stupid. We're there to battle those guys for points. We want to finish as high as we can. If a win isn't what we need or what we can get that day, then hopefully a second is. If a second's not, hopefully it's a third. You can only be as good as you are that day. So that's how we look at it and just trying to race. Yeah, the points don't necessarily really matter now in the season as opposed to the final 10, but it's still, I guess, stats more than anything.
Brett McMillan from PRN. You talked about last week and said you weren't feeling the effects of last week, but is that something you'd try again, the 3 races in 3 cities in 3 days?
I wouldn't mind trying it again. We're doing 2 of them, here this weekend. It won't be too bad. We'll have the truck race here tomorrow, and then we're going to fly out and go run a nationwide race and come back for Sunday. So we've got that going for us. We've got, if there's a way that we can make the Memphis truck race after the nationwide race in Loudon, we might try that. There's a lot of stuff still that we're trying to plan here and see what the time changes and stuff are going to be like.
Just to follow up with your hectic schedule that you keep in terms of doing all 3 series, Has anyone ever come up to you and said, "You are nuts"? What
Oh,
are you
yeah.
doing?
I've heard that plenty of times, and I heard something that Jeff said that he's always wanted to put his most focus towards his 24 team and everything, and not let those guys down any. And I feel that that's a good point, but also that there's three other teams that are dependent on me, and the 15 of Billy Blue or 51 of that truck, they're really dependent on me to bring home a championship for those guys, as well as the 18 and the 32 teams in the Nationwide Series are looking for me to bring home wins for them. So, there's a lot of guys that want me to drive their stuff, and that's really flattering and pleasing to me because I love racing as much as I am, but still the full focus needs to be on the Cup effort.
Kyle, Steve Kaminsky with the Grand Rapids Press. Kyle, a year ago at this race, you came in here and news had just come out that you were not going to be coming back to Hendrick Motorsports. And you came in here and you just said you were going to explore your options. Fast forward to a year later, did you have in your wildest dreams that things were going to work out for you at that point so well that you'd come in here a year later leading the point standings with the most wins and doing so well?
Not really. No, I mean, you never think that things could be that good, but you never know how good or how bad they can turn out. So, with the way Hendrick Motorsports' season was last year, winning 18 of the 36 races, and then, being a part of that and only winning one of those wins, it's kind of like, well, how come I didn't have any more wins? And if I can only win one race in Hendrick Motorsports stuff, then how am I going to win anything in anybody else's stuff? So, those are the thoughts initially, but once you get going and working with the guys and going through your off-season testing and stuff and seeing how things roll and what the new car has for you at the 1.5 and 2 mile racetracks, it's a bit different. So things have really turned around and gone well, and fortunately I'm in the position I'm in now.
Bruce Martin again. Ford, Chevy, and Dodge make a big deal about this track because it's in Motor City's backyard. Talk a little bit about the prospects of you getting a Toyota to victory here in their backyard.
I mean, that'd be pretty awesome. It's I think Toyota's first truck win came here with Travis Kvapil, if I'm not mistaken. So it would definitely be pretty cool, to not only just win here because we want to get another win, but to win, I guess, in the manufacturer's backyard, it's pretty cool. So I'm not sure that yet we're the car to be able to do that. I think that there's some other guys that are better than us, and we'll try to catch up to them and see what we can learn here tomorrow.
Hey, Kyle. Vito Puglisi, frontstretch.com. You made some comments earlier regarding the meeting that you had today, that the drivers had today. Considering the amount of success and how well you've run earlier so far this year, would you be more or less resistant to any changes that may potentially be coming down the road, or is it just a situation where you'll just take whatever comes your way and just take it from there?
It's the same for everybody. So if there's going to be changes that are made, we're all under the same rule book now. We're all going to be under the same rules if they make changes. So like they said, that we've only raced this car a partial season so far, and we still haven't taken it to some of the tracks yet that it's hasn't seen. So it's a learning process. I don't know how long we were in the old cars for. I don't know when that change was from the older cars to what we just had to now the newer car. There's been some phases of race cars over the past decades, I guess, and so we're learning on this one now.
Kyle, Pat Patterson, ESPN Radio. I think you may have already answered this, but as far as the heat from last weekend and as far as anything you might think about doing inside the race car to get some more ventilation to it, how much did it bother you last weekend, and did you and Steve talk about maybe changing anything to get some more air to you?
I didn't run enough. To me, when I got out of the car after I tore it up, I got out of the car and I wasn't bad, and then I walked in the hauler and I was just drenched. I could feel that I was just soaked. So, I feel like we've got as much stuff going on as we can. My helmet blower's pretty good, and then I've got a back blower also, and so I feel like those two things are pretty good. And when you have if you put a fan on the right side right here that's blowing at you, it's not really hitting you anywhere except your arm maybe, and the only thing it's doing is blowing hot outside air. It's not blowing any cool air. So it's not too bad to have the heat the way it was, but it was pretty hot. I'm sure I saw some guys that were fatigued.